Hey guys, welcome back to the Fluffy Bubble, or welcome if you're new. Today I have a fun video where we're going to break the rules a little bit, making this nourishing, hydrating, moisturizing, and protein-rich lotion that's also fun, springy colors, super pretty, and smells amazing. We're going to be breaking the rules by making this in one pot. That's right, we are going to put our oil phase and water phase together right from the beginning to make the easiest lotion ever. If you want the formula, you can find it on my website, and it actually is a 2-for-1. You get this lotion formula that I'm going to make today, as well as a thicker cream version of this formula. So you get two formulas in one, and both of them can be made in one pot, mixing the oil phase and water phase together right from the beginning. So make sure you have your scale, lab scale like I have here, or a kitchen scale that I'll also have linked below, a beaker if you're going to be doing the double boiler method like I'm doing today, or you can make this in a crock pot or slow cooker. When I say this is easy, guys, this is so easy. So I'm excited to show this to you today. Let's get started. In a cleaned and sanitized beaker, add in all phase A oil phase ingredients. We're starting with our silky emulsifying wax, which is a blend of Sanitizer alcohol and Ceteris 20, and it really does give a silky smooth skin feel when it's in a product. You will notice that difference. It's also very reliable and very stable, so it's perfect for a formula where we're adding our water phase and oil phase ingredients in all at once and heating them together. Next, we're going to add pure Sanitizer alcohol, which is an emollient on its own, helping to soften the skin and make everything feel smooth and silky. It's also going to help stabilize this lotion even more and thicken it. Now we're going to start adding our butters and oils. I'm starting with our cupuaçu butter, which is a Brazilian butter that kind of reminds me of cocoa butter, but with a much lower melting point. It's very rich, provides natural sun protection, improves elasticity, and is anti-inflammatory. This is our 4 butter blend that I make from scratch from cocoa butter, mango butter, cocoa butter, and shea butter. You can find links for this formula and the tutorial below, but you can also add any combination of butters that you would like to this lotion. Now I'm adding one of my favorite oils, avocado oil. It contains tons of nourishing proteins plus vitamins A, D, and E. It helps restore skin suppleness, locks in hydration, and prevents dryness. My skin loves avocado oil. I put it in pretty much everything that I make. The last ingredient in our oil phase is jojoba oil. This is a luxurious oil that balances the skin's natural oils. It has antibacterial properties, protects, and smooths the skin. It's time for our water phase ingredients, starting with our glycerin, and I'm adding them right on top of the phase A oil phase ingredients, and we're going to heat them all up together. Now, if you want to do your phase A and phase B ingredients in separate beakers and heat them up separately and then add them together at the end, you're more than welcome to do that, but with this formula, I promise you, you don't have to. We can skip that and just put everything together. Distilled water is the last thing we're adding before heating. You want to make sure you are using distilled water or deionized water, not water straight from the tap. Now that I have all my water in, I'm just quickly jotting down the total weight of everything so that I can replace any evaporated water once everything is heated. I'll be doing the double boiler method to heat everything up, so I have a portable cooktop. You can also use your stove. I also have a shallow pan that is filled with about a 1/4 inch of water. You could also use a crock pot if you wanted to make this in a slow cooker. Cover everything with aluminum foil and then heat until everything in the oil phase is completely melted. I heat up to about 70 degrees Celsius, 158 Fahrenheit. Once everything is all melted and heated up to about 70 degrees Celsius, this is what it looks like. The oil has all risen up to the top, which is scientifically accurate. Now it's time to blend everything together. I have my beaker back on the scale briefly to compare the weight now to the weight that I wrote down earlier before I started heating everything up. I'm just going to replace the evaporated water with my distilled water to get it back up to the original weight. Checking the temperature of the mixture just to make sure it's over 70 degrees Celsius, which it is. So now it's time to start stick blending. I'm going to be stick blending for 3 minutes. I found that stick blending any moisturizer that I'm making for about 3 minutes emulsifies it really well and gets everything nice and homogeneous. Now that I'm done stick blending, I'm just going to clean out my stick blender with a spatula and then check the temperature. I don't want to add the cool down phase ingredients until the mixture is below 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 degrees C. If I wanted my entire lotion to be the same color, I could add my mica or colorant in now. Because it is so liquidy, it'd be pretty easy to blend in. But because I'm going to split this up and make it several different colors, I'm going to wait until after I get my cool down ingredients in there. So we're still too warm. I'm going to have to wait a few minutes until it gets down below 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm just going to cover it up and give it a minute to cool down. As it's cooling, check the temperature periodically. This is probably the third time I checked it and it's below 140 degrees Fahrenheit. At this point, I can add my preservative and my fragrance oil, but I do want to kind of add everything together. So I'm just going to give it a few more minutes to get down below 104 degrees Fahrenheit so that I can add all of my cool down ingredients, including the vitamin E and protein. We're now down below 104 degrees Fahrenheit, so we're going to add our cool down ingredients, starting with hydrolyzed rice protein, which is a vegan protein option to get those amino acids. They are great for the skin and hair. Now I'm adding pure vitamin E. You can see it's a thick amber color. It's rejuvenating and soothing. It's an antioxidant, and it'll help keep our oils and butters fresh in this lotion. The fragrance oil that I'm using today is Just Scent Sweet and Tart Candy Fragrance Oil from Wholesale Supplies Plus. This one did have to grow on me a little bit. It's a little more floral than I expected it to be, but it is a sweet fragrance that has grown on me and I like it now. And I have seen that it's sold out a lot, so people do seem to like this one. Of course, you can omit fragrance oil altogether and just add more carrier oil, or you can use essential oil or a natural fragrance oil instead of a synthetic fragrance oil. The last thing I'm adding is our preservative Optifin. This is a natural preservative that is highly effective and gentle. Preservative is not optional in a lotion. There's a lot of water in here, so please use a preservative, even if it's not this one, to keep your products safe. I'm giving the mixture a quick stir with my spatula, which isn't really necessary because I'm just going to stick blend this for about another 30 seconds to a minute to get everything fully homogeneous again. Everything is nice and smooth now, so I'm going to clean off my stick blender and get my 3 other beakers, make sure they're cleaned and sanitized so I can split this up into 4 beakers total to make my 4 different colors. Add equal amounts of lotion to each beaker so that you have about the same amount of each color for your final lotion. As I'm pouring, you can see that the lotion is cooling down. It's starting to thicken, and that's what the clumps are. Those are fine. They will smooth out once we mix in our color. Now I'm going to add in each color to each beaker, mix it thoroughly so that it is fully incorporated and blended with the lotion. I am using cosmetic colorants to color my lotion today, but you can also use mica. I just prefer the colorants because they are matte and they don't give any sparkle or shininess to the skin when you use them. I also like that I only need 1 drop and then I have a really nice vibrant color, so I don't even have to add a lot. This is a small batch and I could use 1 drop for even more lotion than I'm using it for. Now that I have all 4 of my colors mixed together, they look nice and springy, they're so pretty. I'm just going to transfer them into a piping bag and then pipe them into jars. I would say though that this formula is better suited for a pump bottle or a squeeze lotion bottle, but I have jars on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. I also wouldn't do this in 4 colors again. I'd probably just pick 1 color because it does end up a little muddled because the lotion's not super thick, but it does look really pretty at first, so I'm going to show you what I did. I have a clean piece of saran wrap here that I'm just stretching out, and I'm going to line up each color right next to each other as neatly as I can. I'm just using regular old saran wrap or cling wrap. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I've seen people use the self-sealing. That's more expensive and it's really just not necessary, but you can use whatever works best for you. Now that I have all my colors in my saran wrap, I'm just going to pull the saran wrap up near the first color, which in this case is purple, and put it on top of the last color, which in this case is yellow. If I wasn't filming, I would have lined up my colors the other way to where they were horizontal with the longer part of the saran wrap, but because I was trying to record this, I did it the other way, so the ends are a little bit short, but we're just going to make it work. We have our pretty pastel lotion log here, so we can set it to the side and get a clean cover beaker that can fit your piping bag inside. Get a clean piping bag and piping tip. Cut the tip of the piping bag to make a hole large enough for the piping tip to stick out but not fall through. Then insert the piping tip into the piping bag. You can see the piping tip goes in enough that the design is out of the hole, but it's not falling through. Twist the bag right above the piping tip to stop the lotion from coming out until it's time to actually pipe the lotion into the jars. Insert the piping bag into the beaker and fold it over the beaker's sides. Carefully place the lotion log into the piping bag. Now you can take the piping bag out of the beaker and secure the lotion log inside. Then twist the top tightly, and then you're ready to pipe your finished lotion into your jars or lotion bottles. As you can see, this lotion is very pretty, but it is falling pretty freely from the piping bag, and that's just because it doesn't have a super thick consistency like a body cream or body butter. So that's why a lotion bottle may be your best bet for this formula, although I've been using it in my jars, which you can find on my website, and it does work perfectly fine. But I wouldn't do 4 colors next time, just 1 color, because the 4 colors, it does get a bit muddled and they mix together a little bit over time. This lotion is very creamy. It has a smooth, silky feel on the skin, and even though it's not super thick, it still packs a punch. It provides a lot of moisturization, and a lot of hydration comes along with it too, because it does have a higher water content than a body cream or a body butter. It goes on so smoothly, and it's completely non-greasy, doesn't leave your hands shiny and greasy at all. And again, even though it is a thinner consistency, it's not like most lotions, which I'm not a fan of, that are just super thin, super watery. You can barely tell you put anything on your hands 2 minutes after using it. This is not that. So if you're looking for a really good DIY lotion, I hope that you'll give this one a try. It also does come with a second formula that's a thicker cream version of this, because I just love body creams and body butter so much I couldn't resist, and that'll be in my next video. I'll show you how to make that version, but you can find the formula in the link in the description box, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!